everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time viewing a video with us, then it's really good to have you here. So today we're going to be looking at a curriculum flip through of the new colour edition of the All About Spelling curriculum, and we're going to be looking at level 1. So if you have previously used the black and white edition, which was the edition previous to this, and you were considering purchasing the colour edition and you were wondering what the difference is between the two, then this is a great flip through to be watching so you can see the difference between the two. If you haven't and you were wanting to just get an idea of what the All About Spelling curriculum is all about, this is the edition that is available on the website to sell. You can no longer buy the black and white edition from their website. So stick around and I'm going to be showing you the difference between the two, and you'll be able to watch the full flip through of the black and white version in my other video, which I will put in the link in the description below. So first things first, the biggest difference between the two editions is obviously this one's colour, but then also this one comes with this student activity book. The previous edition did not have a student book. It was just a packet and the teacher's manual. So this is a huge change to the All About Spelling curriculum. So let's have a look at the student, what comes for your student first of all. So this, on the front of this blue sheet, it will break down what comes as part of this student packet. So you've got this, the Zip into Spelling student book. Then you've got the phonogram cards, which are your flashcards, which you will be using throughout the curriculum. So they're all color coded. You have your phonogram cards, which if you look at the top, I don't know if that's clear and you can see that, at the top of each of the cards, they are labeled as to what type of cards they are, as well as being color coded. So your yellow ones are your phonogram cards. The red ones are your sound cards. These blue ones are the rule cards. In the previous edition, the blue cards were called key cards. And there is a difference between the two, which I'll go into a little bit later. And then the green ones are your word cards. And then inside of your activity book, your student's activity book, there are stickers and a progress chart. So I can show you that. This is the progress chart. This is the phonograms chart. And then there are some little stickers that also come with it that are kind of, they fit the theme. So you've got your bumblebees, you've got little insects, you've got little plants, and those come with that as well. So that is your student packet, which will come as one whole bundle like this. So looking at the teacher's manual, if I do a side-by-side comparison between this, which is the previous edition, the black and white version, as you can see, and this, which is the new color edition, the first thing you'll notice is that the color edition is a lot thicker than the black and white edition. There is a lot more content in the color edition. And if, say, for example, you had your teacher's manual from the black and white edition, but you were maybe going to purchase a student packet because maybe you've got a new child who's at this level, who's going to be starting it, and you think, okay, I'll just buy a new student packet, they will not line up. The black and white edition teacher's manual will not line up with the color edition student packet, because the reason why this is so much thicker is, as I said, there's more content, there are more words that they're going to be learning to spell, and the lessons that are within here refer to the activity book, which did not come in the previous edition. So you wouldn't be able to use this with the color edition student packet because they just do not line up. So you would have to purchase the color edition teacher's manual. So having a flip through very quickly again, I'm just going to do a quick comparison so you can get an idea of some of the differences between the two. So black and white on the left, colors on the right. First things first, again, they are both split into 3 sections when it comes to the contents. Preparing for level 1, the breakdown of the lessons that are within level 1, and then the appendices, level 3. First things first, If you look carefully, you'll be able to see that the amount of preparation for level 1 for you in the black and white version is a lot shorter. It's 14 pages. In the color version, there's 33 because there's more moving parts with this one. Also, when it comes to the appendices, this is it for the black and white edition. That's the appendices. With the color edition, this is the appendices. So there's a lot more, okay? So that's to kind of just give a brief idea as to why there's quite a big difference between the two teacher's manuals. So let's jump straight in. It will start off here. You have the option as to whether or not to watch the video, or which there is a QR code to under this sticker that I've put there, or read through the teacher's manuals preparation pages. So it's up to you. If you're more visual, then you could just scan the QR code and watch the videos, or if you choose to just have a flip through and you want to digest that information through reading it, then you can just read through this. So that's the first thing you're going to come to. Then there's a section where you can check to see if your child is ready to start learning how to spell, or if they're maybe not ready just as yet. It will give you some guidance as to how to be able to tell. Then it shows you the materials. So you've got some pictures here that show very clearly what those materials look like. So first things first is the student packet, and it breaks down what those are. Then your letter tiles kit. So you can either be using the physical letter tiles, which these are the physical tiles, they're all color coded, or you may choose to use the digital letter tiles app instead. The choice is completely up to you. Third, there is the spelling review box, which looks like this. It's their branded box, and that's to put the flashcards in. So once you separate the flashcards, you'd put them in here, and you have divider cards in between to separate them according to their colors and what type of card they are. Then magnetic whiteboard, again, is an optional resource. You don't have to get one, but if you wanted to put little magnets on the back of these letter tiles like this, you could get a magnetic whiteboard, and that way, as it shows in the picture, you would lay the letter tiles out so that your child can use the whiteboard as part of their hands-on work with doing the lessons where you would be using the letter tiles with your child. And then finally, a lined notebook. So a lined notebook, or there are QR codes just here for you to be able to download either wide ruled dictation sheets or regular ruled dictation sheets. So you can get those through scanning the QR code. This gives you an overview of how all about spelling is broken down and what their method is basically. So it is an Orton Gillingham curriculum, which means that it uses the Orton Gillingham method of teaching spelling. All About Spelling, the creators of this did not create, they are not the creators of the Orton Gillingham method. That would be Dr. Gillingham and, Dr. Orton and Anna Gillingham. Those are the founders of that particular method. This uses that method, but they also have their own way of breaking that down to use with your child and within your family. And so this gives a bit of information behind how they apply it in their curriculum. And this is how the lessons are structured. So Preview the Teacher's Manual, lesson plans. This breaks down how you would go through each of the lessons throughout this entire curriculum with your child. So first things first, you'll come to Before You Begin, and each of the lessons, which start on page 35 in section 2, each of the lessons will begin with this cream colored box. So this box is for you. You wouldn't go through this with your child. This is just for you so that you would get an idea before you carry out the lessons with your child of what the aim of this lesson is, what they should know by the end of it, what materials you're going to need for this particular lesson, and then it's going to break down what you'd need to read through and have an understanding of before you start teaching this lesson to your child. So it'll probably be a good idea to go through this at least the day before, so that you can let that information sink in and be confident when it comes to applying this with your child and guiding them through this lesson. So that's what it's talking about with before you begin. The next thing that it will do is then review. So it starts with regards to the lessons that your child will go through with reviewing what they've already learned. So previous concepts taught will be reviewed first. After that, new teaching will be introduced. Then in this new colour edition, we now have what's called the advanced application. And this is for if you have a child who is maybe picking up things really quickly and they're moving through this quite quickly, but they're not ready for level 2 perhaps, then it's where they would be able to just get an extra bit of a stretch and challenge to apply what they have been learning. And the advanced applications start at lesson 7 in this. So if we flip through to lesson 7, so here's lesson 7. You've got your cream colored box, that's for you. And then you've got the review section. So they're going to be reviewing what they've previously covered. Then the new teaching is being introduced, and it's showing you as well what materials you're going to be using. So you've got tokens as well that would come, that you can use coins, to be fair, anything. You don't need to use tokens that would come with it. You don't have to purchase those, you can just use something to represent those. As long as they can be moved and they're small enough to be used by your child. Then you've got the letter tiles, the new topic being introduced. And then these are the exercises. This is where it's referring to the student activity book. And then here, you've got advanced application. So this is the section that would only be completed by either an older child that you have, who maybe, again, they're a bit older, but they're not ready for level 2, or your child who is getting through the lessons quite quickly, but they just need a little bit, they could benefit from an extra bit of a stretch and a bit more time of practicing what they've learned. And then you fill in your progress chart so that you track your progress, which is the 5th step. So before you begin, cream box, review, new teaching, advanced application, and then tracking your progress, which is filling in the progress chart that is in the student book, which is this. So preview the activity book is breaking down so you can get an understanding of what's in there and what it's for. So we had a quick flip through this. So the progress chart, the phonograms chart, the activity sheets. So let's grab that again. So as you can see in this picture below, the activity sheets, there's loads of pictures and things that they would be cutting out and moving and using, etc. So here we go. Progress chart, phonograms chart, and then you've got loads of activity sheets. You've also in here got the advanced application sheets. So it will refer to, in the teacher's guide, it will refer to which page to turn to for each of the activities that would need to be done by everyone going through this, and which of the activities in here are for the advanced application, like this, for example. So as we can see, that starts with lesson 7, and then you'll see that throughout the rest of the book, the sections for advanced application, okay? And it's very hands-on. There's loads of things to cut out and move and do, and it's made a lot more fun, I would say, this one with the colour activity book. So, and then the rule posters, word banks, and certificate of achievement, everything is in that activity book. So these are the spelling rules posters. These are what it's referring to that's in here that we didn't have in the black and white version, but we do have in this color version. Whoa, that is a picture, right? So as I said, it does deal with spelling rules. These are things you can just pull out, laminate, stick on the wall, whatever you want to do with it. Just things that your child can refer to that will help them to remember certain spelling rules. Soft C rule, floss rule, and let's have a look. What else is in there? Loads of spelling rules. Where's the other ones? Where is it? At the other side. There they are. So the CK rule, etc. So the spelling rules are all in here. And you can go through, and these are all perforated pages. So you can easily pull these pages out. So you've got those, and you've also got word banks and rule posters. So rule posters are these. It's focusing on the spelling rules. So you can, the pages within the activity book are perforated, so you can easily just pull these out. So if you wanted to pull these out and say have them on your wall, somewhere where your kid can just see it all the time and be able to quickly refer to it, you could do. You could laminate these pages and just have them on the wall. It's totally up to you. There's nothing on the back of that. But those are the rule posters. And then you also have word banks. And as we saw at the very back, the certificate of achievement for once the whole level has been completed. So there are loads of activity sheets in here. It's made really fun, really hands-on, very interactive, and a lot more engaging, I would say, than the black and white version. So this is a word bank here. So this is for the short E vowel sound, which will make the sound. So all the words here would make that eh sound, which is the short E. So yeah, it's a lot more interactive, bright, colorful, fun than the previous one, I would say. So on to the next part. Again, it's going to teach you a little bit, or just introduce to you about phonograms, just in case it's something like that you need to refresh your memory on, or maybe you're not familiar with the term phonogram. It will just help you to get familiar with that and be confident with it before you move forwards. It's going to introduce the flashcards to you and how they're used and what they do, what they'd be used for. And it shows you how to set up your spelling review box. Now, you buy the spelling review box separately. It doesn't come with the teacher's manual and student packet. It is a separate purchase. So you could choose to buy it, or if you chose not to, then a regular index box would be fine. So if you had a box that fits the cards in, you can get those from somewhere like maybe Amazon, Hobbycraft, anywhere like that. And that's perfectly fine. Either way, this shows you how to set the box up to store all your flashcards, for the divider cards to go in as well, which are also a separate purchase. As you can see, they don't come within the packet. You get the flashcards, you don't get the box, you don't get the dividers, you buy those separately. And then here it's the Letter Tiles and the Letter Tiles app. I'm just going to cover that QR code. But yeah, so you've got the Letter Tiles. It shows you how to set them up. And if you're using them, for example, on a whiteboard, it will show you how to set your whiteboard up and how to store your letter tiles as well. You wouldn't use all of the letter tiles that come, if say, for example, you purchased the physical tiles like these. You wouldn't use all of these for level 1. Some of them you would use for level 1, and some of them would be introduced later at later levels, and it will let you know which ones you'll need for level 1 and which ones are for later. So don't worry, don't panic if you're kind of starting out and thinking, wait, when are we going to cover X, Y, Z? Or, not literally, but, when are we going to cover these particular letter tiles? It will let you know. So by the end of all of the levels, you will have gone over all of them with your child. And then here is how you would prepare your child's lined notebook, which is what they're going to use for their spelling dictation. Okay. So again, if you're using this with an older student, it prepares you a lot. There is a lot of time, information, how much time to spend on spelling. everything. It really goes into depth. It really prepares you well to be confident with knowing how this curriculum works, understanding all the moving parts, how to apply it, how to set lessons up. It really does prepare you so that you don't have to think, wait, I don't understand this. How do I do that? Or what would I use this bit for? Or when are we supposed to use X, Y, and Z? So I really like that it takes the time to explain and to show how to use all of these things. And then you're going to jump straight into the lessons, which it's showing you how they're laid out. So by the time you get to these, having read the first section or watched the videos on the first section to prepare you for how to use this curriculum, you'll feel really confident with knowing what to expect, how it looks, and all the rest of that. And one thing I'd also say about All About Spelling, that as with the black and white edition, it is scripted, which means that it will guide you as to what to say to your child as you're teaching them and what to do as well. So it will say literally what you're going to read out. You'll read this out with your child, to your child, and then it tells you, show your student the front side of phonogram card 1. Now, cards are all numbered, but it's letting you know, this is what you say, this is what you do, and then this is what happens next. So it literally guides you as the parent step by step through teaching the whole content of this curriculum to your child. So it takes a huge amount of that pressure off of you, feeling like you have to have a PhD or a degree or a bachelor. You don't have to have be a qualified teacher in order to work through this and understand it. It's guiding you as well through this and letting you know very, very clearly what to do, when, what to use, what happens next. So you can just relax and use this. It is super, super open and go. And that is one thing that I love. Yes, there are moving parts to it, but it breaks down so clearly what it is that you will do with each of those parts, that it's just really takes a lot of the stress out of it. And if there's anything that takes a lot of the stress out of anything to do with home educating or homeschooling, then yes, please. So this is very, very good. I love the way that it's laid out. I loved the original black and white version, that it was just kind of straight to the point, no nonsense, and just kind of cracked on with it. But I must admit that having gone through the color version and had a look at it and seen how it works and everything, I actually feel excited about this one. So they've kept to they've stayed very faithful to that simplicity, that the way that they've made it for us as the parent to apply that with our child, and I really appreciate that. So when we get towards the back, when it comes to the appendices, you have your scope and sequence, and this is letting you know what's happening in this level 1. So the scope and sequence here is for level 1, and then afterwards it's showing you the phonograms as they will be taught through all of the all of the levels. So as I said, with regards to the letter tiles and the cards, the flashcards, not everything will be used in level 1, because therefore all of the levels. So once you have those, you have them, and you'd go through those, you'd use them for every level. So this is letting you know which level covers which phonogram. So phonograms taught in level 1, which lesson and level, taught in level 2, taught in level 3, 4, 5, right through to level 7. So it's letting you know here in the appendix when certain letters and sounds, etc., would be introduced. So you can just come straight here and kind of get that heads up, I guess, for one of a better way of putting it. And then this is letting you know about the different spelling rules that are being covered, which, as we saw, the spelling rule posters are in the student activity book. So these are the different spelling rules covered for level 1. It's letting you know about how to review the flashcards. So the letter tiles, it's all here. even some of this, so I love this, solving letter reversal problems. A lot of kids, whether they are dyslexic or not, tend to experience difficulty when it comes to getting their letters and sometimes numbers back to front. So they'll write B when they mean to write D, or P when they mean to write Q, because they're so similar. So this, it helps you to know how to deal with those problems and gives you, like guides you through it. So like how to work through that, how to manage, kind of like troubleshooting for spelling, how to manage all the different issues that you might come across. Pin-pen merger is when a child may have difficulty with differentiating the sound between I and E, because they're very similar. So again, it helps you to know what's happening if you find that your child is experiencing that and how to deal with it. I love that, because sometimes we get stuck, we can get a bit frustrated, think, I don't know how to help my child with this, but this helps you to know how to help your child, which I think is just so valuable. So yeah, the appendix is full of a lot of really helpful tips, troubleshooting, all sorts of things to help you with dealing with things as they come up, or knowing what to look out for that may happen and how to deal with that. Which just, again, it takes a lot of the stress out of it. It is so user-friendly in that respect, not just in how the lessons are set out, but in all the support that it gives. So here, one of the big differences as well between the black and white edition and the color edition, there's lots of games and activities. So we saw in the student activity book, all these activity sheets. Didn't have that with the black and white edition, but there's more games and activities that are even suggested in here. So it's super engaging. This is helping you to know which letter tile, what is wrong with my speech today? Letter tile format to use, how to choose which one's going to be the best one for you. Super helpful. Really good. And then this covers the words taught in level 1. So here's another brief comparison that I want to show between the black and white edition and the color edition. As I said, that the letters taught, taught in the black and white edition, the words taught are here. So in, for example, under B, under C, under E, they're all in alphabetical order. So the letters C, there were 33 words taught with regards to spelling in the black and white edition. In the color edition, there's 63. So just under one, letter beginning set of words, there are 30 extra words. There are a lot more. So this was all the words here. These were all the words taught in the black and white edition level 1. In the color edition level 1, these are all the words taught, and you can already see that's quite a difference. So a lot more that is covered. And so that really covers, you've got your index here, that really covers the level 1 all about spelling color edition. And so if you wanted to purchase that, you would go directly to their website. You could order it from their website directly, or if you're here in the UK, then there is a website called Conquest Books, which you could order it from instead. I am not affiliated with either of them, so I'm not going to get any kind of commission for telling you where you can purchase this. I'm just letting you know. But yeah, so these are the things that come with the color edition of All About Spelling. And I really hope that you found this helpful, because it's really great, I find, to get an idea of what's in something before you buy it. What does it look like? How might that work for me and my family? Is this going to be a good fit for us? Because some curriculum are quite an investment, especially if you have to get anything shipped. So the fact that, for example, you can actually get this within the UK, that's going to cut down on shipping costs anyway, but just still being able to see inside and know what there is, know what it looks like, get an idea of that, that might not work well with my child, or actually this would work brilliantly for my child and we'd find this really fun. That's gonna just save a lot of tears. So I hope you found this super helpful. Do click the notification bell so that you can be aware of whenever I post a new flip through, because I'll be doing quite a lot, and all things home education related. And I'm gonna be looking forward to seeing you again next time. Take care.